I'm a meterless abuser, being the #1 carapace user. My skirt's connection with the dropships, just like they do it in battle cruisers.
Welcome to NSL Season 7. Let's take a look at this season's map pool. Diamondback, Week 1. Diamondback is a 4-player map made for NSL7 by Nam Surikata. Endurance, Week 2. Endurance is a 2-player map made by KD Man in the Space tileset. Aquamarine, Week 3. Aquamarine is a 4-player map made by TNW Zombie. Terraform, Week 4. Terraform is a 4-player map made by SC Spider, Hyojin, Gnome Surikata, and JoJo. This is an NSL Classic Remake map. Odd Eye, Week 5. Odd Eye is a 2-player map made by Sickness, Gnome Surikata. August Grad, Week 6. August Grad is a 4-player map made by Cooki Master and is an NSL Classic Remake map. Neo Jungle Story, Week 7. Neo Jungle Story is a 4-player map made by JoJo, an NSL Classic map maker. High Noon, Week 8. High Noon is a 2-player map made by Nam Surikata on the Desert Teal set. Struggle, Week 9. Struggle is a 4-player map made by KM on the Jungle Teal set. Typology, Week 10. Typology is a 2-player map made by Freakling on the Desert Teal set. Now that you've seen the maps, let's check out the teams. Team Cavadogs. Team Chonky Cheesers. Team Lord of the Lings. Team Air Force 1. Team Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet. Team Baked Potatoes. Welcome to NSL Season 7.
NSL.
Oh, I didn't. All right. Hello. I just realized right as I was about to cut to this that I didn't rename this. Welcome to another week of NSL. I'm just going to change the title here. We have more Tier 3 games coming for you today. We have AK's team, the Lord of the Lings, playing, as well as, of course, my teammates and the team of our wonderful clan leader. It's the Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet we're going to be featuring today as well. And there we go. All right. And it's not week 5, it's week 6. I'm kind of slightly behind today. It's been it's been a week. So, okay, so yeah, so we're gonna get the game started here. I'm just personally getting the scoreboard set up as the other thing that I'm gonna do, and then we'll jump right into the first game. Believe the map this week is August grad. So we will be diving into that. Today we have for the 9 series, we're featuring series 7, 8, and 9. For 9 we have Shu versus Shimmer coming up. A ZVP. Whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. And should be exciting. I am familiar with both of these players. I think just because Shimmer is more experienced and Shu is still Shu is a very new player and is still gaining experience. I would slightly favor Shimmer, maybe possibly, but I've Shu's ZVP has been getting noticeably better. So I don't think that it's impossible for Shu to pull out this series, but I do think I would favor Shimmer a little bit. But you know, this is a series; anything can happen. So that's kind of my feel of it. So we are featuring August grad today, as I've said. And yeah, oh, there's my co-host right there, my co-caster. Hello, AK. How are you today, sir? Let's see.
Oh, hey, there you are, Bree. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh,
I
you're
didn't realize
good,
I
man.
was muted there.
You're good. How have you been?
Oh, not bad. Trying to get some last minute NSL signups going here.
Oh, yeah. It's always hectic trying to get those together.
Yeah, it seems like this last few weeks has been particularly hard getting some signups, but I know we're getting towards the end, so maybe that's why players are starting to fall off a little bit, but I think we got it covered, and luckily I still have plenty of players, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. So we are, to fill you in, because I'm not sure I updated you with the series today yet.
Okay.
We are doing your team. Your team is being featured. We're doing Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet versus Lord of the Lings on August grad.
Okay. All right. Is that week 6?
That is week 6.
Okay. Awesome.
So we
Tier
got
3?
tier
I
3.
imagine?
We got
Okay.
Shu and Shimmer up first.
All right. Perfect.
So very I have to say I have been working with Shu a little bit on his ZVP specifically, and
Okay.
so I'm very excited to see this series. I know that he has been improving, so I'm
Nice,
very
man.
very excited to see what he can pull out against Shimmer here.
Yeah, that's cool to hear.
All right. So we got everything together. I swear I know how to cast. This is not my first week. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good for game one. Are you ready, AK?
Alrighty, I think I'm all ready.
All right, cool. Here we go. All right, in the top left on August Grad are Red Zerg playing for the Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet. It is Shimmer. Excuse me, not Shimmer. It is Shu. And in the bottom right are Blue Protoss playing for the Lord of the Lings. It is our other player that also starts. Their name starts with an SH. It is Shimmer. All right.
Shimmer versus the Shoe. All right.
And it is a
Yep.
cross-spawn ZVP.
Okay, so have you had a chance to play on this map much? Now this is a map that's been in the NSL for actually quite a while, and Cookie Master kind of makes a little bit of changes each season, so each map has been a little bit different than the previous versions that he's updated.
I
But so
have.
far, I like this one the best.
I
Sorry.
agree. I like this one. It's a lot of fun. I thought the critters were going to be really weird until I realized even a probe can one-shot them, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just cute little things.
Yeah. Not like
Um,
crazy critters. Hectic.
no, yeah, they're just, it's just fun.
Nice.
So I have played on this. I've noticed
Okay.
that the layout in the main is a little weird.
It's definitely much smaller than what you normally see, but it seems like it's kind of set up for the natural to have sort of the main kind of buildings, but definitely right, like the main is very small, which I think it can open up to make you vulnerable to certain types of play, like maybe Reaver harassment could be super strong against the Zerg or something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what comes to play here, but will be interesting to see what the players decide to do once again on these different NSL maps. Oh, nice little pro block here at the natural, denying the drone from throwing down another hatchery. Although Zerg did go for the 9 pool, it looks like, with the... He did get a very fast gas, which I thought maybe he'd be going 9 pool speed or something. But, maybe not going to be mining that gas right away. Looks like he just wants to try to get that second hatchery on location as soon as he can. But Zerg is not making any lings either, so he's going for a pretty economic build. Maybe trying to psych out the Protoss a little bit by having that pool first. And maybe the Protoss expecting some lings, and instead he just made drones for better economy. So kind of a cool play here from Zerg. We'll see how that comes into play, but back at home from Protoss is going to be a 2-gate.
Yep.
So how do you feel about this for Protoss?
Um, I feel like I mentioned earlier that I would favor Shimmer slightly to win this, just because he's more experienced with Protoss and Shu is still learning the matchup. In this situation, I think 2-gate is not a bad play because I feel like the skill level is slightly uneven. In an even skilled matchup, though, I feel like 2-gate's a little bit risky. Just because you have to be really confident with your zealots. You have to be really confident with knowing how to maximize your zealots and keeping them alive. And in particular, if you force Zerg to make just a ton of lings, they will eventually overrun all the zealots.
That's a
And
good
then
point. And Speedling's almost done here for Zerg, and I'm wondering if that's actually what's gonna happen here. I guess we're gonna find out though. Here comes the Zealots looking to attack. Nice fight against Lings so far.
yeah,
So far, not an overwhelming amount of Zerglings just yet, but looks
but
like
with
Zerg's
this
trying to
attack,
kill.
he is going to force the Zerg to just stop building eco and start just building either Lings or Static D or both. We see the sunken already done in the natural, but
And
and more Lings
nice
are on the
little.
way.
Okay, so that looks like they did clean up the Zealots. Nice little run by there with the Zealot, but it gets cleaned up eventually. And that's
It,
kind of a funny spot there with the eggs, how they hatched, right? They
mm-hmm.
kind of started to glitch the Zealot out even a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like Shu used that ramp to his advantage, which is
Yeah, that was a pretty
good.
nice move for sure.
And now, so this is the downside of 2-gate is look at what, I mean, you know, we have 2 cannons, but if you have enough Lings, 2 cannons aren't going to do anything. You know, we
True,
have,
this is a lot of Speedlings for sure coming across the map, getting here very quickly. Let's see if Protoss can hold here. He's got to, I think, block up maybe another hole perhaps. I'm not sure if this wall actually might be linked tight. I don't know as far as Protoss walls on this map go, but
I
we
think
might
it
find
is.
out.
I think it is, and I think with the Zealot there, these 2 cannons, Shimmer's going to be pretty safe, but with, I feel like at this point, Shu is basically free to just go straight into Hydras and, you know, rally them over.
Well, and I saw Shu here got a pretty fast layer on 2 hatch and throwing down that 3rd hatch on location. Let's see if he goes into the 3 hatchery spire and then transitions into like a 5 hatchery Hydra style maybe. Or maybe he's just deciding to go for like a lurker contain type of thing. I guess we'll be seeing his tech here pretty soon, I imagine. Looks like it is going to be the Hydralisk den thrown down for the Zerg with the Evo chamber. So this makes me think he might be planning on going for a lurker contain perhaps, or maybe just getting Hydras out to deal with the early Corsair that usually comes from Protoss around this time.
And
which is definitely going to happen from Shimmer this game, it looks like.
it is worth mentioning that, you know, now granted, Shimmer did do 2-gate and did do a lot of Zealot pressure
Sure.
early on, so,
Very
you
true.
know, the Stargate is a bit late, just now building a Corsair at like 7 minutes, but I think all things considered, that's still a pretty timely Stargate.
Very true, very true. I think both players are looking in pretty good spot. It looks like they're kind of doing a back and forth engagement here at the natural to kind of assert map control for now, but neither player really able to do so yet. I mean, I guess Zerg technically has the map control for now, but it looks like Protoss might be able to do a +1 timing push with some Zealots here very shortly. And this actually could be a pretty nice push if he decides to go for it. But
Well,
more Lings getting made from Zerg. Sorry?
yeah, you know, Zerg is building more Lings. The thing is that right now, especially with this Corsair out, Zerg does need to start transitioning into Hydras, and with,
True.
I mean, there's nothing here to stop these Overlords from getting killed. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even see the Corsair already getting a kill in the natural. One Overlord going down already, looking to get another. And like you said, there's not really much defense here. Zerg's already supply blocked. Luckily, he did morph. A Hydralisk was able to morph from those eggs. And it looks like it's going to push that Corsair back just in the nick of time before it starts getting out of control.
yep.
And Shu looking really to put on the pressure here back at home. Going for another dive-in, but Shimmer is going to deny that again. Nice job with the Zealots there. With the +1 finishing for Zealots as well. Also ramping up that Corsair count back in the main. Looks like Shimmer wants to continue making Corsairs to have that threat going throughout the mid game.
Yeah, I think at this point, Shu just needs to. I don't know. I might be wrong. I kind of feel like Shu is maybe like maybe at least 7 drones too short. But apart from that, I think the idea of just focusing on Hydras is not a bad one. The fact that he has Lair already, he could totally research Lurker aspect as well, and like you said, get this contain going. Once he gets Lurkers down in here, these Zealots are not going to be a threat at all.
Yeah, that's true. There's no observer tech from the Protoss yet, so Lurkers could definitely be a really nice threat. Luckily, he will have storms, so he will be able to kind of blindly clear his way through some spots.
Sure.
But still, it could be very troublesome. So we'll see what ends up happening here very shortly. Looks like Shimmer looking to explode that gateway count in that natural area.
Oh yeah,
We'll see if he's gonna go for a big push here soon, maybe.
Shimmer's already on 5 gates with the 6th warping, and he's just starting his robotics facility. We have Storm finishing up, and it looks like we're also getting Goon range. So, you know, the mid-game boxes for Shimmer are definitely being checked off right now. Nice, just methodical build-up back here. And
yeah, I do like it. Nice storm here from Shimmer too, but a good pull back from Shu, didn't? Oh, and now he's just actually gonna send it, I guess, right into another storm. Protoss is actually defending this really well.
Protoss has enough cannons, and as long as he doesn't run entirely out of storm, Protoss should be okay. But wow, totally cleaned up all those Hydras.
Yeah, nice job clearing that army up. That's got to feel good not to have that massive army right outside your base. And even Shimmer got another kill on that Corsair back at home, having it in a pretty nice spot. It looks like maybe a Overlord ran into it on accident. But here we go, Protoss pushing his way out to get some map control and might even go for a big push with this huge gateway count. We'll see what Shimmer's planning on doing here.
I like Shimmer's idea of just taking in command of the middle here. I don't think that Shu has the macro that Shu needs right now to make Hydras work. And
wow, and Lurker Aspect just finished while he was losing those Hydras, which was kind of unfortunate, but he is going to be able to retreat for now. Let's see if he's able to actually get some of those Lurkers morphed.
oh man, if Shu can get Lurkers anywhere near this ramp, he could totally retake control of the center.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's in a little bit of trouble right now, but like you said, if he can get those Lurkers morphed, that's going to be a huge saving grace against this massive group of Zealots here in the middle. But here comes another fight. Shu looking to try to target down some of these +1 Zealots. So far trading out pretty well. He actually might clear out the Protoss army now. Kind of a little bit of back and forth. Nice
more storm is coming though.
There. Good trade outs by both players. It basically killed both of each other's armies down to 1 unit almost, but not a bad exchange. Here comes some goons to reinforce. And he might actually just be able to save this High Templar in the middle of the map, but it gets sniped. Nice job. Nice micro there from Shu, looking to take down as many of those Protoss units as he can. So far, Protoss still on 2 bases, Zerg on 3, looking to get some more drones up at that 3rd location and really start to get his economy going here. He's got a pretty decent bank so far.
Yeah, don't count Shimmer out yet, though. He is pumping goons right now, and
that's true. These goons are going to be tough. They already have +2 attack, which is pretty amazing.
+1 Hydras. You know, Shu does have Carapace on the way. But man, this Protoss macro machine is just starting to kick in. Look at, we have 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways, 9 gateways in the main, all just pumping units.
Yeah, nice. That's going to be a lot of macro here for sure coming out of Shimmer, even throwing down his 3rd Nexus at a nice 3rd gas base location. And gosh, that's kind of a weird way to get into there. I didn't realize Cookie Master had added these doodads in there. I think small units can still get into that base, but anyway, kind of a cool little addition to the August grad, or maybe it's been there and I just don't remember. So, but kind of a cool place anyhow. I do like the fact that Shimmer is taking a third gas base as his third base.
Another
And
thing
his
to note is that now that Protoss is kind of leaning off of Zealots and leaning into Dragoons, once Shimmer starts phasing in Observers, Lurkers aren't going to mean anything.
You know, that's a good point. I think Shimmer's got to be a little bit careful here not to throw away too many units, forcing his way up this high ground here. Maybe wait for his reinforcements. Nice job pulling back those goons for now. But
lost
good.
all the Corsairs.
Right, nice map positioning there from Shu, kind of controlling that high ground area and kind of massing his units in that location is a really nice spot to reinforce. Here comes another attack though from Shimmer. Shimmer really wants to control this location. Let's see if he can do it now with the Zealots and the Goons. Nice storm on the Hydras.
Nice
Like
storm
this time
as well.
He might have enough, just barely, or maybe just barely not. It's so close, man.
I think. Oh man, it's so even. But you know what? Every storm that Shu doesn't quite pull out of in time, I don't think he has the macro to salvage this.
You know, that you may be right. It looks like he's really forcing all the macro units here. Shimmer's really forcing Zerg to just constantly make units, and Zerg is only on the 4 hatcheries for now. And so like you said, that macro may not be enough to deal with this many gateways from Protoss, but he has a fairly decent Sim City at the natural, so let's see if he can claw his way out of this here. He's definitely kind of a little bit in a hole now. Protoss squeezing that choke hold ever so slightly as he moves his way in little by little here while reinforcing. This is definitely a nice move here from Shimmer. He's kind of deciding when he wants to pull the trigger and when not, but here we go, another big fight coming down, the Lings coming out, lots of storms going down. Oh man, hard to say what's gonna happen just yet. Shu taking some nice engagements, but there's still a lot of Protoss here and only Sunkens. Lings popping maybe just in the nick of time to save his base, but one Sunken going down and only 2 remaining. I don't know, Shimmer's still putting on the pressure and there's more units trickling across the map. Let's see if he's able to close it here. It looks like he really wants to close it, but really putting on that aggression. Oh, it's so far. Shu's maybe just gonna push him back just barely, man. He's holding on. He's really holding on there.
The Sim City is really working in his favor.
It is. That's definitely what we can see as a benefit to having good Sim City here. Is he's getting lots and lots of value out of those few sunken colonies. But Protoss finally gonna break his way through here. The final sunken going down, and the drones are forced to retreat. And this is starting to look even worse for Zerg here.
Yeah,
more reinforcements coming.
Oh man, and the den and the Evo chamber about to drop. Oh, brutal.
Wow, nice upgrades here from Protoss. +3 is done. GG is called. Wow, nice game 1 from Shimmer. Well played, and not bad from Shu either. Putting up a really good fight from a new player that I haven't really heard much from. So nice job there, Shu, as well.
Yeah, you know, Shu's Shu has really good like I would say like I think SimCity is definitely one of its strengths. That was what kept him alive for so long there. But you know, we look at the score here, it's just so it looks so tilted. It looks so one-sided. It's like 88,000 to 66,000. So, Um, I don't know, man. I feel like he when you were talking about in the opening how he elected to drone a lot and not build
Yeah.
lings.
Right.
Um, I know that he likes to do that. I know that he likes to build like only a couple lings and drone up.
Mm.
But
Okay.
despite droning up so much, I felt like I'm not good enough at Zerg that I know what their economy is supposed to be like at certain times, but it felt like he was at least like 8 probes short. Sorry, 8 drones short of where he needed to be in the early game.
Right. It did seem like maybe he wanted at least another macro hatch and just wasn't quite able to afford it when the time came that he needed to.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just a little bit of a build order mix-up, perhaps, which kind of snowballed into the mid and kind of into the mid game, which affected his economy at that point. But
It
still nice game overall, though, I
yeah.
think.
I will say this that I enjoyed the fact that he's rallying to the Protoss. That's just a really good textbook ZVP move.
Yeah, I
And
mean, Shu showed some really good tactics. He had some really good micro. I was actually really impressed for the caliber of skill that these guys are playing in and to see what they're still capable of. So,
yeah, and he's really good at engagements. All those engagements he was taking for so long were just so good. But
yeah, I agree. There was some nice fights that game for sure, and it looks like he was even dodging some storms, which can be like a high caliber player maneuver, like that's not easy to do while you're doing everything else. So,
no.
nice
And
job.
and I will say that like we were talking about the opening, like even in a matchup where I feel like it was slightly Shimmer favored. Even then, that 2K did not pay off very well.
Yeah,
Um,
he did do a fantastic job of fighting off that two gate. So I mean maybe that's a reason why Shu liked to do that spawning pool opener first and then just go into drones just in case the Protoss does do a two gate sort of thing.
could
So
be,
it looks like he reacted to it well according to his build order.
yeah.
So
And that's the thing about doing that opener is that if your zealot control and your zealot engagements are not where they need to be,
true,
um,
I've heard you say that before and
yeah, two
totally
gate.
we saw that. We totally saw that game 100%.
So it's
Where
kind of
those
a
Zealots just didn't do anything, right?
yeah. If micro isn't necessarily your strong suit as Protoss, two gate is kind of risky.
Hmm.
At least I feel like I feel like it's kind of risky, but this is also a hard, just in general, a hard and weird matchup for Protoss. So
Right.
gotta
I
take
do
some
like
risks.
right, especially on a map where it's like August Grad, where it's just so different from most of the other standard sort, so to speak, sort of maps. And maybe he wanted a chance to run by into the main, and that's kind of the play that he was going for. But Shu did a pretty good job of shutting that down, especially having that egg on top of the ramp in his position really played in his favor, I think.
Yeah.
So,
So it looks
a good
like
game. Good game
uh
one.
good game one. Shimmer does take that, and for game two, it looks like we're going to Odd Eye, and this is Shimmer's.
Okay, all right. A
Sorry,
map
Shoes
that,
pick.
yeah, that was the last map of the week that we casted, I believe week 4 or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. So it's nice to get a chance to see lots of games on this map, and even players picking it as their second map of choice. So that's definitely cool to see.
I think that of the two-player maps this season, I think this is one of the better ones, in my opinion.
Nice,
Just having played them, and
cool.
and that isn't to say poor things about the other maps in the map pool. It's just it's so It's just odd enough to be fun.
Nice, nice. Well,
So
and ever since you said it, it does give me Eclipse vibes. It's like a reverse eclipse, going from left to right, where Eclipse is going from bottom left to top right. But the pathing down the cross middle path is kind of similar. How it has that high ground sort of in the middle that you kind of fight for, and the more and more I think about it, the more it kind of reminds me of Eclipse. So nice observation there. And I guess we'll be seeing what the players have planned for this game too. Let's see if Shu is able to make a comeback for his team, or if Shimmer can take it for my team. Lord of the Lings would be great.
we'll
Of
find
course.
out. All right. So in the top left, our blue Protoss playing for Lord of the Lings. It is Shimmer up 1-0. And in the bottom right, our red Zerg playing for the Semi-Sweet Cookie fleet. It is Shu. And I'm curious to see what opening Shimmer does. Is like I feel like after that game, especially if he's comfortable enough with Zealots, I feel like doing a gate expand would probably not be a bad way to go this game.
Yeah, no kidding. He might even. Yeah, I'm wondering if he's gonna be going for the 2 gate, or if he's gonna just switch up his build order. Although we do have the pylon in the main, which makes me already suspect some play like 2 gate may be in the near future. But we'll see what Shimmer has planned.
That's true. That's a sussy pylon.
That's a sussy 2 gate looking pylon. That's for sure. Oh, let's see. Shimmer though gonna be scouting in the top right area. Maybe he forgot it was a 2-person map
Oh
and kind of
man,
scouted.
that's
That's
unfortunate.
It could be unfortunate, or perhaps he's planning a proxy in this location, although I kind of doubt it. And so far, Zerg doing a fairly similar opening to last game.
Shimmer
Looks like,
opening 10-11 2-gate. It looks like Shu maybe opening Overpool.
yeah, just an overpool, and it might have even been overpool last game. I think I said 9-pool, but I could have been wrong. I wasn't actually looking that closely. So let's see, he's going to be going for that second hatchery right away as well. Going to be getting it right on location. And Shimmer, I think, is definitely not realizing it's a 2-person map by the looks of his probe scouting. And both
Well,
wrong
yeah.
locations, which is a bit unfortunate, right? But he is going 2-gate, and now he knows at least where the Zerg isn't. So we'll see if we can find some damage here with these Zealots when they do decide to move out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan with that was. Maybe was he trying to catch like an overlord or a drone or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe he was looking for overlords on the map. I'm not sure how you actually play 2-gate as Protoss in this matchup. If you usually go ahead and send the first Zealot out right away with a probe and immediately start to do damage, or if you just kind of wait for like these 3 Zealots are just moving out all at once right now. But they
Uh,
move right into the path of that overlord, so
the
Shu might have seen it
minimum
coming.
the minimum you want to do is 2 zealots and a drone and a probe, but 3
Okay,
zealots and a
okay.
probe would be nice as a nice start.
Okay, nice. Okay, because I was kind of thinking if you do send the first Zealot with the probe right away, you might just not get a whole lot of damage done. And if they had made like 6 Lings right away, and you're trickling your Zealots across the map, they could maybe easily get picked off that way. So maybe this is actually a better way to do it, is just kind of wait for these Zealots. And here we are at the front door of the Zerg with 3 Zealots going to be running right up the ramp immediately, going for some damage here. Zerglings popping, but gonna be running right past these Zealots in here. Already we have a drone kill going down. Shimmer looking for more. This is definitely a lot of pressure for Zerg though. Nice micro there with the probe behind the Zealots. Getting lots of value out of these units. Pretty good harassment so far in the early game. He's already getting about 4 drones, maybe a 5th going down. He's getting another one. Oh, and another one on top of that.
Wow.
Oh no, this is really starting to get out of hand for Shu here. I think he's got at least 8 to 9 drones. Only 3 more drones remaining.
5 drones.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Shu having lost all those drones in the early game. That's definitely going to be very hard to recover from.
5 drones and one of them is out scouting.
Oh my goodness. Wow,
So,
yeah, definitely a tough early game for Shu. Unfortunately, not the way that he had planned for this to go.
yeah, that's pretty brutal. I don't and meanwhile, so Protoss is of course taking an expansion and is establishing their wall. So with the 2-gate though, it's cool to note that Shimmer actually uses a core and a forge instead of a gate and a forge at the wall. But otherwise, looking pretty normal. And Shimmer once again going into a Stargate. This is a much timelier Stargate given a 2-gate opener than last game. Look at that.
Okay, nice observation. He is going to have a faster Corsair this game for sure.
By about 60 seconds. That's pretty fast.
That's pretty big in the StarCraft universe, right? That's like
Yeah.
an eternity almost.
So
And nice. Shimmer even transferring those, getting his natural going, up and running. Very healthy probe count. And Shu just doing what he can to kind of recover from the early game losses. But he does have 3 hatcheries, which will help him eventually start to come back from that loss.
yeah.
Once he can start to afford that larva. But still a little bit of ways from being able to afford all that larva just yet. And the Corsair's right at home in the face of Zerg. Oh no, already going to be getting some Overlord kills, and there's no tech back at home to deal with this at all, so this is going to be so hard and annoying for Zerg. 100%. Zerg just now throwing down the Hydra Den, trying to get that up and running, but is going to take lots of damage here from this Corsair, no doubt. Let's see if Shimmer looks to put on that pressure. It looks like Shimmer may just be going to scout the map with this first Corsair, which is definitely a nice idea to see what else is on the map.
Yeah, it looks like he's just kind of confirming. I mean, that Zealot attack he did hit basically knocked Zerg all the way back into the Stone Age. So,
Yeah, it really did.
Zerg is trying to recover, but these Corsairs are just going to be blocking all these Overlords. I almost wonder if instead of I don't know. I don't know what I guess getting Hydras is probably the right move here overall, because you're gonna want to defend these Corsairs, but you're also gonna want to rally over to the choke here of the Protoss. I feel like probably going into Lurker Aspect would be the way to go above all the other Hydra upgrades. Going into Lurker Aspect first, by the way, and just moving Hydras over there. You know what I mean?
Right, I could agree. He's definitely got to find a way to deal with these Corsairs, though they are slowly but surely just racking up massive damage. A 3rd Overlord goes down, soon to be a 4th, and a 5th right behind it. Lots of Overlord kills going, and this is definitely so annoying for the Zerg to deal with. Luckily, Zerg was able to get some Hydras marked before he was totally supply blocked and able to push these Corsairs back away for now, which is a good feeling, not to just die right immediately, which definitely could have happened. But
Yeah.
a nice defense back here at the natural for Shimmer.
Trying to shoot, trying to poke and see if he can get anything done, but this is a very staunchly defended Protoss
It really
choke
is.
point.
It is very well fortified, absolutely. And it, with the ball's in Protoss court, 100%. It's his game to lose at this point, and Shimmer definitely has some options on the table right now. Looks like Shimmer's just gonna be going into his macro, waiting for that +1. +1 attack's already done, so he's gonna be maybe waiting for +2. I think he has a timing window to kind of move out on the map now if he had wanted to. But Zerg going to be taking a third hatchery right on top of these Corsairs. Doesn't even care. He just says, I need to get that base going, which he definitely does. And Zerg actually starting to make a comeback from this early game deficit as far as being able to afford the larva from his hatcheries. But he's still not out of the woods just yet by any means. But here comes
nine
Shimmer.
9+1 zealots, speed zealots.
Yeah, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. So that's a very
Sorry, slow
scary army to
zealots.
deal with.
Still,
Yeah,
still scary, like you said.
yeah. These +1 with +2 about halfway done. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Let's see what Shu can do here. He might even just have to cancel this third hatchery. He may be able to get the forces there to defend it, but we'll see what happens. Here comes Shimmer, just gonna be going to cancel that third hatchery. I do like this move. Pretty safe so far, and it does force a cancel. I believe Shuv canceled it there just in the nick of time, it looked like. And then we do have a fairly healthy amount of Zerg units with some Sunkens back at home, so Shu looks like he will be able to hold on for now. Nice job, though, from Shimmer getting some map presence out on the map, making sure he scouts other locations, make sure Zerg doesn't have another expansion. But nice pick off here on these high energy, high Templars with these Lings. Going to be getting some decent value, although one storm does go down, wipes out a few of those Lings, and another storm going to be clearing out most of those Lings, though.
That was a
Nice storms from Shimmer.
set. By the way, 95 supplied of 41.
Wow, yeah, we can definitely just see what an uphill battle this has been for Shu after that early game attack.
Yeah.
It's really just snowballed its way throughout this whole game, unfortunately. But here we come from Shimmer with another attack here with the reinforcement from the Goons. This is a very strong +2 army from Protoss. Let's see. Oh, and Zerg has no upgrades on his units either. This is definitely going to be a big attack, but there's lots of Sunkens back at home. Nice pullback from Shimmer. Not going to be losing all these goons just yet. Waiting for the reinforcements, but Zerg's just going to tap out, and that's going to be GG. Wow, nicely navigated from Shimmer there in both games.
Yeah,
Well played.
that was a rough one to watch. I'm not gonna lie, that was a rough one to watch.
Yeah, man, that early game is so important, and we saw just why, you know, it can just snowball your entire game just by having a few mistakes in the early game, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a game where, you know, if you're learning and you don't really know when the game is over, you stay and you play it out, right? But that game looked over after that first zealot attack, and
Right, I do really give Shu
it's
big
unfortunate.
props though for fighting his way through it and giving it a really fighting chance, because you know, maybe if he had got that third up and running, maybe he was somehow able to make a comeback. So it looked like the possibilities were there, but just a definite uphill battle. So
Yeah, I agree. It was that last one was rough. That was a rough one, for sure. Okay, so up next we have a TVP. Oh my goodness. We're getting a treat today, AK. We're getting a
Okay.
TVP. That's
Okay.
right.
I
That's
love it, man. That's what we're talking about, right? Both our races.
all
Let's go.
right. Here we go.
I love that.
Fuzzy Branch versus Crystalline Xeon.
Okay.
It's another kind of I'm gonna put Crystalline Xeon's whole name in there because that is a name. This is kind of another one of like game like our last series where it's kind of uh somewhat one where uh if you've been around a couple NSLs, you know Fuzzy Branch, and
Yeah.
I think this is Crystal's first NSL, so
Okay.
very excited to see how this goes.
Right on.
And we're going back to August grad. So
Okay. All right.
oh, there you go. There you are.
All right.
All right, here we go. All right, and it is bottom left here for our blue Protoss, Fuzzy Branch. Sorry, our blue Terran, Fuzzy Branch, playing for Lord of the Lings in the bottom left. On August grad, that was the most backward intro I think I've ever done in my entire casting career. Okay. In the top right, our red Protoss playing for Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet. It is Crystalline Xeon. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
I don't know much about Crystal, but I would say Crystal and I are probably I'm under the impression Crystal and I are probably about even in skill. So
Right on.
This should be an interesting match. I feel like this is a little bit more even, but maybe still slightly favored towards Fuzzy. Fuzzy in particular, as when he pulls out aggro, is tough.
Okay.
So
Now, I do have to mention that Fuzzy was kind of filling in for some of our players that I don't think Fuzzy necessarily was planning on playing this week, but he just kind of filled in for us last minute since we had some pretty low signups. So I got to give a big shout out to Fuzzy for helping our team fill up those lineups. And I know he like just came back from like a work trip or something and literally like stepped through the door and like had to play this game. So I know it was a bit stressful for him as far as scheduling goes this week. So he may or may not have been as prepared as he wanted to be.
well,
But
I'll tell you what.
still glad he played.
I'm glad he played too, but he's facing up against a cross-spawn Nexus first
Oh.
TVP. I don't think
Oh, look at that. You called it, man. Good eyes. Crosspaw 12 Nexus, always hard for Terra to deal with. And if you've seen Artosa's cast, he just absolutely loathes this build. Just the bane of his existence is this build.
Yeah,
So,
wow. This is gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be a rough one for Fuzzy. I can't imagine that this is the build you want to be facing under the conditions that you mentioned, where you just came back from like a trip and everything.
right. Definitely not. No, no, no Terran ever wants to face this anyway. So just the fact that we have those conditions on top of that is, we'll see how Fuzzy is able to react with this. And look at this, even Fuzzy gonna be doing the end scout, gonna be getting a super late last scout on this Protoss. This is just like the worst case scenario for Terran for sure, as it
Yeah.
could possibly get. And it looks like Protoss is going to be doing the 2-gate Cybercore opener, so maybe be waiting. He might be waiting for those
Those goons.
the Cybercore to finish so he can pop those goons right away. So there
Yeah.
is a very small timing here where Terran can punish, but Fuzzy's just going to get such a late scout that he may not be able to. So we'll see what Fuzzy decides to do here. Luckily, Fuzzy's making Marines non-stop, so there's still a possibility he can make this happen. Here
Yeah,
we
that's
go,
a
Fuzzy getting in to see the bad news. And he's, you know, at this late scout timing, sometimes it's even hard to realize it was actually a 12 Nexus if you're not as familiar with seeing it. Because maybe you just assume, oh, I got last scout, he's already probably has his tech going, but
yeah. Well, I could
he
tell you.
should not have this Nexus done, though, and it should not be mining still at this time, so...
Yeah, no, that's yeah. If this was like a 23 or a 21 Nexus, this Nexus would still be morphing. It would still be warping
Right.
in.
Exactly.
Certainly wouldn't be
So,
mining.
yeah, that's the clue you really got to look for, but as we see, 2 goons already finished. Goon range has started on the way. It looks like Fuzzy elected to go for the... He did pull some SCVs, but kind of sent them back home, maybe realizing the goons were already finished, and maybe just didn't want to go for the bust attempt.
And Protoss is taking a third at 5 minutes. Oh my gosh.
No, right? Look at that. Just
That is
getting
nasty.
lots and lots of early economic advantages here
Oh
in
my
this game.
goodness. A 5, not even 5:30 and his third is start. That is
That's crazy.
that's dirty.
Instead of crazy Zerg, it's crazy Protoss, right?
Yeah. And it's not a bad call because I mean Fuzzy's not I'm moving out on the map despite the fact that I think his army could demolish what Protoss has right now.
It definitely could. Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to some micro though, especially since Goon Range isn't quite yet done, although it's just about finished. But yeah, it definitely could have, although Fuzzy really didn't have that information to really, I don't know, he kind of did, but I don't blame him for not wanting to pull the trigger right away, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's just a hard decision to make, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But nice job laying the mines here. Going to be setting up a little bit of map control in the middle for now. It looks like it will be a while for the observers to finish, so mines will be kind of nice for a little while, but this is going to be a lot of gateway units from Protoss.
Yeah, I think once you had 4 goons out there, I think that it's going to
Ooh,
start to favor Protoss.
Right, you can almost just even A-move your way through these mines since there's so few mines out on the map.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately. Though although don't underestimate a mine. I mean, look at how much damage that did to that goon.
That's very true, very true. You got to be a little bit careful with your micro still. But like we said, there's so many Protoss units coming away across their map already. 4
8 goons.
gateways before
10.
the robotics. I mean, this is crazy Protoss for sure. The goons looking to dive on the tank. Fuzzy trying to block the tank for all he can. Just doesn't quite get it. Oh man, these goons really putting on the pressure here. Fuzzy Branch trying to get some units out with the Marine and medics actually doing a pretty nice job tanking some damage had there been a siege tank in position. However, there's not. Unfortunately for Fuzzy Branch, these goons taking out the one mine remaining, and now they're just going to be getting free damage, and that's going to be GG. Nice game
That's
one. Crystalline Xeon, man. Wow.
that. Yeah, I agree. That was a very nice, clean game one from Crystal. Very, on top of
Very
the
decisive.
timings. Yep.
Yeah, nice utilization of the map, even getting that very fast third Nexus. I think was a really nice decision on this map, and it played in his favor getting that cross spawn as well, so nicely done. With the gamble build, it paid off really well this time.
Yeah. Oh, but that's unfortunate to start a game one. Oh, it's
I
tearing.
know. I feel that pain for sure.
It happens, man.
Right.
All right. We're gonna go into get game two going. I feel like oh, one thing I didn't get a chance to mention because I was busy obsing and trying to keep up with the cast, but I made a mental note of it. I on that map I liked Fuzzy's Sim City with the Honey Badger, my friend. Thank you for the follow.
Oh, right on. Yeah, thank you, Honey Badger. And I did see Air Rob earlier in the chat. Nice of you to stop by and give a shout out to Shimmer. Always appreciate the support.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by. I just totally opened up the wrong game. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
All
all
right.
good. It's all good. There's
That
so many.
that very small platform that you start on August Grad, I really appreciated Fuzzy's Sim City in
In the
that
bottom
really.
left there with the
Yeah,
barracks.
with the
Yeah,
barracks and the refinery and everything. That was pretty slick.
I kind of found out on accident. I think I was playing Zerg off race, helping a player practice on that map. But in that position in the bottom left, it's very easy to block that choke point. So like you said, it was great SimCity from Fuzzy. Had a Protoss been going for like a proxy 2 gate or something, would have played way, way better into Fuzzy's hand. But unfortunately, it was a 12 Nexus cross spawn, so Protoss just got a better build order that game around. But we'll see what happens here in game 2. Is he gonna go for the gamble build and hope to get that huge economic advantage this time, or maybe he switches it up and plays standard, or goes for a cheese or something like that even. So we'll see what happens
And it's
on
gonna
this
be on
Diamondback.
D-back, no less.
Nice. All right, another seemingly more popular map as we go on in these casts. I see this popping up in game 2 more and more for their player's second choice for the map pick. So very, very cool to see.
It's, you know what? I don't blame it because, you look at the map, it's a very, if you're used to playing like Vermeer and Polypoid and Fighting Spirit, it's a very safe map.
Right, it does feel very similar to like those maps, like you said, like Vermeer, even
yeah.
having those high ground ramps and stuff like that.
Uh,
Close by third bases and whatnot.
yeah. Probably not Fighting Spirit, but definitely like it feels a lot like Vermeer to me. So, it's just a nice safe standard map. So we'll see what these players have in store for us.
For sure, and it even has the Nom logo in the middle of the map, which scores some style points from the map makers.
Yes,
in my
indeed.
opinion.
Good catch there. Good catch. All right, in the top left, our blue Terran playing for Lord of the Lings. It is Fuzzy Branch.
Go Fuzzy.
And in the bottom right, our red Protoss playing for Semi-Sweet Cookie Fleet. It is Crystalline Xeon. Another cross spawn.
Oh boy. Yeah, man, cross spawn on 4-player maps can always be cause for disaster, or at least have the opportunity to be so. So, oh, let's see what happens though. Protoss gonna be throwing down that first pylon in the main. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not gonna be 12 Nexus or something like that. I still see Protoss players do a 12 Nexus with the gateway in the main like this, so he is going to be doing a pylon, very fast scout right after the first pylon though, which I mean if he gets the first scout or even the second, he can still even gas steal the Terran I believe on the second, so we'll see if that's a possibility coming up. I might be wrong. If it's a second scout it might be too late, but first scout 100% you can steal the gas from the Terran. Yeah, I think second scout would be too late, so anyhow, let's see what comes into play so far. It seems to be standard from both players so far. Crystalline Xenon going to be throwing down that gas. Not going to be going for the 12 Nexus this time around. Fuzzy Branch going for the 12 standard gas from Terran. 12 gas 13 Scout here. Very standard from both players so far. Protoss going to be getting the scout here on the second spot location. Nice job getting in there. We'll see if he is able to put on some harassment on these SCVs or if he's just going to be going back home. Oh, this could be really nice though if Fuzzy kills off this probe. The probe didn't really identify what build the Terran was doing yet, so it could open up a possibility for Terran to go something like a 2 factory play or even like a factory starport before expansion in this case. But so far we do have a Zealot coming out from Protoss looking to work its way across the map to find some damage. Meanwhile the Cybercore on its way as well. Protoss only going to be making the one Zealot it looks like. Terran gonna be getting the second scout here, or no, Terran's gonna be doing the end scout again. Gonna be getting the last scout, and this kind of why I don't like doing the end scout, because if you do end up getting the last scout, it's just so much later than if you would have scouted all 4 corners in that direction. But otherwise, the end scout is for scouting the Zealot that came in, but I think he actually missed the Zealot just slightly. So the Zealot might be able to find a little bit of damage. Luckily, Fuzzy did a good job of continuing to make the Marines, so he has plenty of Marines to deal with the Zealot for now. And is going to push that Zealot back. Nicely done so far from Fuzzy. And we'll see Protoss probably going to be taking his expansion here very shortly.
Yeah, it looks like maybe oh, right on 25.
Right on, nice eyes there, Breeze. Gonna be having the second goon. Let's see if oh, the Zealot might go down, but he's trading out some Marines. Decent kills so far from both players, actually.
Nice body block with the SCVs. I think that will just deflect this goon.
Yeah, no kidding. Fuzzy really doing a good job pushing these goons back, and Fuzzy even throwing down a bunker in the natural, trying to get that pressure going before the goons can finish with goon range and just get in the face of Protoss to deny this Nexus. Unfortunately, just barely didn't get it, although I do like that move. That can be kind of a cool move to do sometimes. I personally only do this if I do like a 8 racks opener on the 2-person map sort of thing, but the idea is still there. So I like the idea from Fuzzy regardless, and he's hiding the Vulture out on the map who might be able to sneak in and get some probe kills if he decides to, or he might just stay here and deny this 3rd Nexus for a little while.
Okay, so this is we're watching tier 3. This is actually the 8th spot in tier 3, And we have a question in chat, AK. I'm gonna leave it to you. Do you think
Can Z still the CC in the middle? I believe I've seen it infested in one of the NSL replays before, so I think it is possible to infest it and make infested Terran out of. So that could definitely come into play in a TVZ matchup or PVZ matchup or even ZVZ, which would be really, really weird. But yeah, definitely keep your eyes out for that in future NSL games. I have seen that happen before, so it's pretty crazy. I know. I think Suricata probably put that in, especially for NSL, just to have some extra fun, and might even like give some style points, for players trying to get that extra plays during the game. So yeah, if you're Terran, maybe just think about killing that CC if you get the extra chance to do so.
so? I feel like Fuzzy is very well fortified here. I don't think these two goons are going to get anything done, and in fact, Crystalline Xeon is pulling them back. We have one goon blocking the ramp in the Protoss main, and we have 7 minutes in. We're just now building the second gateway, but we have been going into Reaver. So this second gateway is very delayed, but we're going to be getting a shuttle Reaver out here. But
nice eyes. Oh, but a Vulture gets in, slightly slides past the defense, only gets 2 kills though. Oh, and that was the Vulture from the third, which a goon stepped on the mine to clear that for the Nexus though. So really good value out of that one Vulture from Fuzzy.
yeah.
Nice job.
I feel like now that we're kind of up on 2-gate and we're going to be building out a 2-gate, I feel like the Protoss macro is going to start to fill in where it needs to be, but I do kind of feel like we were on 1-gate for a little bit too long as Protoss, and we don't really have quite a lot of units out, but we've been teching behind it, so we'll see how this Reaver drop fares. We do have 2 Zealots loaded in the shuttle, and shuttle speed is about to finish.
Okay, nice observation. There's the shuttle working its way on the bottom left side of the map, and like you said, shuttle speed about to finish. And I agree with you, Breeze. This is going to come down to how much damage this Reaver and the shuttle can actually do, because if he doesn't find damage, like you said, he was only on the 1 gateway for quite a long time and delayed that third base, that third Nexus. So it will come down to this moment, but the shuttle speed finishes, and look at this thing just flying so fast, and there's only 2 tanks here, so it can come down to some nice micro with the 2 Zealots in the shuttle. I think Crystalline Xeon will find some damage.
Oh.
Here comes the first
It's
Scarab and
unfortunate.
connects.
Pull him, pull
Another
the
big
SCVs.
connection. Oh, big connections, absolutely huge.
Oh my
connections.
gosh.
And this is not done yet. This is the damage Crystalline Xeon needed from this Reaver in the shuttle. Absolutely. Damage has already been done. Nice play. And he's going to continue this harassment at the natural. Most likely. Can he find a spot? The Reaver looking to get another connection. Kill some more SCVs. And somehow the tank shot, I don't think, made a full connection on that Reaver, so this Reaver still has pretty high HP.
Oh my gosh! It's right on top of the siege tank.
Oh, the Reaver not firing, but still
oh
alive.
My gosh!
Wow, really good value there.
Wow!
Really, really nice value there from that first that shuttle with the 2 Reavers. Nicely done. That's definitely gonna be what he needed for sure.
That last move where he just dropped the Reaver right next to the siege tank so it couldn't do anything, that was so cheeky. That was like snow cheeky.
I thought he was gonna get another kill on that Reaver, like probably could have got another tank kill for sure, but always very taxing on the APM when you're doing these kind of micro moves.
Oh yeah.
So got to be careful not to let it destroy your own economy in the effort to do all this micro. But Crystalline Xeon did a fantastic job of getting that third base going. Just needs to transfer those probes to the third, which he's doing right now, and exploding that gateway count. Looks like he's going to be making a lot of gateway units for now.
Yeah, and I'm guessing probably even arbiters too coming up shortly. I'm assuming we're going to see the arbiter
Oh,
tribunal drop now,
I
but
would agree.
we're
For
going
sure,
up
since we have so many gateways.
7 gateways in the main.
Right, and like you called it, there is the Arbiter Tribunal getting thrown down right away, and Protoss working his way out to get that map control on the map. Fuzzy Branch moving out to meet him kind of halfway here.
Oh man.
Gonna
Oh.
be seeing a nice little skirmish here in the middle of the map. Nice job from Fuzzy though, pushing back the Protoss. Protoss just barely maybe doesn't have enough to deal with this move out from Fuzzy here. This actually could shut down the third if he decides to do so. He's just got to be very careful about losing these tanks. Nice little leapfrog there. Going to be taking out some goons and sieging, unsieging maneuvers from Fuzzy Branch. So far, pretty nice job of moving this army out. Still got to be careful though. Don't want to be losing this whole army right away. But we do have 6 factories here from Fuzzy back at home, so this is going to be a really nice push. Although, got to be careful though, he's kind of getting into the high ground position of Protoss, which is almost to where Protoss wants to attack. But I think Protoss just waiting for these Zealots to have a better unit composition rather than just pure goons. But the shuttle looking to dive, get some Zealot bombs on top of these tanks. And he does, and that triggers an unsiege from Terran, and he moves in at the perfect time with these goons to find another tank kill. Can he get it? He's gonna send in the whole army, actually. The vultures maybe arrive just in time is gonna be enough though to save his army. I don't know, Protoss getting on top. Both players losing so many units. Oh man, wow. What a trade out.
Survive
this is pretty even so far. So far, Fuzzy Branch coming ahead just slightly, but having siege tanks against these Zealots, it looks like maybe the tanks might get cleared up. But Fuzzy unsieging that tank just in the nick of time to almost save it. Just not quite. A nice job there from Crystalline Xeon clearing out that Terran army. Not going to be losing his third anytime soon.
Now, that said, I feel like that Terran push did, for how few units it was, it did a lot more damage than I think Protoss should be comfortable with. The one thing that's kind of, like, you look at the supply right now, it's like a 40 supply difference, but, you know, Fuzzy Branch is down like 20 probes. So...
yeah, that's true. The army supply isn't all that different, like you mentioned. It's mostly in a worker deficit. So Fuzzy Branch definitely is not out of this game just yet. Nice mines here, even going to be maybe clearing out some of these Zealots, and he does find a connection there. And there's no observer here to help clear these mines, although he does have observers on the map, so... nice job with the SimCity from Protoss having some cannons in the natural and one at the third just for safety. Always kind of nice to have, and now Protoss kind of going for more of a shuttle style play, mass shuttle style to kind of regain map control here. Let's see where he decides to dive bomb these Zealots. This is 8 Zealots in the 2 shuttles here. Pretty big investment too, so got to be careful not to just fly them over turrets and lose them for free, but they could also find massive damage as well. So far, Terran gonna continue the pressure towards the third base. Fuzzy Branch getting a nice layout of mines here and starting to leapfrog his tanks forward into this position. He might actually be able to shut down this third base. And there's a lot of reinforcements coming from Fuzzy Branch. Fuzzy is not letting up on the pressure, even taking a ninja third base in the top right, which if he gets that going is going to be really nice for him. But here's the Arbiter back at home for Protoss, which is really going to help him out in this case. Luckily, Fuzzy Branch has a nice bank of scanners on 2 scans with almost full energy on both back at home. And this is definitely a lot of pressure from Fuzzy here. I do like the slow push towards the third. Definitely going to be nice if he can shut that down. And if he can then just keep Protoss on his 2 remaining bases while getting that third going, we'll be in a nice position. But I didn't see back at home in the side of main of Terran. The shuttle bomb comes and takes out a factory in the main of Terran. I didn't see that at all. Wow, that was actually a really nice move from Crystalline Xeon. And that's going to force Terran on 5 factories right now, even finding some SCV kills and maybe taking down a depot or a turret here or there. Nice little counterattack, but this push from Terran is still in full force. Wow, nice moves from both players though.
The Zealot is going to finally get picked off, but that drop was... I agree with you. That was a good drop.
It was really nice time too. Right at the time that Fuzzy Branch had most of his attention on focusing on that push, you could tell his attention was so focused on the push, he didn't even notice that the Zealots were taking down a factory. So really nice time to drop that. Very nice time for Crystalline Xeon to go in there with that move. I do like that. And now the Arbiter accompanying his army may be able to start slowly pushing this Terran army back. However, Fuzzy Branch looks like he is going to take down the third base. Really nice move for Fuzzy Branch as well. I don't know, man. This is still anyone's game, but so far looking pretty good, I'd say, for Terran having taken down that third base. Can Protoss get a third base now? Terran has a lot of mines out on the map and pretty good map presence as well, with the nice vision with the vultures.
And now, like, with that third base gone and all those probes there dead, you'll look at, like, what I was saying about the supply. It's like now Protoss is actually kind of on the back foot in supply, just because it doesn't look like we're building a lot out of these gateways.
Yeah, that's true. Plus the main is just about to mine out as well, so this definitely puts Protoss on a timer. Looks like Protoss wants to take that bottom left, but he won't be able to really transfer probes. Having this tank line on the high ground on the left position is going to be really hard. And here comes the SCV transfers from Fuzzy Branch to take the third in the top right as well. So I definitely like this position for Terran, but this is going to be a nice Arbiter count for Protoss. So it's definitely not over for either player. Let's see what both of them can do. Fuzzy Branch getting a nice sniff out here of this bottom left base with these 4 vultures. Going to be finding that. And now this makes it even tougher for Protoss to take another base, but good stasis here on the high ground.
More stasis on the tanks.
Getting on top of those tanks, only 3 tanks to clear. And it looks like he is going to be able to clear this. Oh, that was absolutely huge for the Protoss. Even getting the vessel with that stasis. Very nice stasis. And wow, man, Protoss might have actually been able to clear out this position from Terran. And if he does, that'll open up the 6 o'clock base again, which would be really nice for Protoss if he can get that going. And now Protoss just going to sit here on top of the Terran army and wait for it to unstasis so that he can clear it. Very nice move from Crystalline Xeon for sure.
And
So
now
far, Fuzzy Branch still on the 5 factories.
Yeah.
This is so back and forth, man, but all of a sudden, that move just really opened up this area for Protoss, and all of a sudden I'm really liking Protoss's position in this game.
Well, I agree. Yeah, I think that just really good stasis on a fortified Terran just.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Protoss is now trying to take a third at this mineral only, while trying to secure kind of the left side of the map a little bit more. I don't disagree with this. I feel like this is a very kind of safe and just conservative and methodical way of expanding and keeping your economy up.
Absolutely.
But look at the supply difference. So Protoss has now been just utilizing all of their gateways. And what a difference it makes in supply.
Right, no kidding. I mean, he has the potential to just out macro Terran. I think maybe he's just a little afraid, seeing as he's about to mine out, that he really wants to make sure he gets these bases up and running before he starts just draining his bank account completely. But wow, this is a funny move, the Irradiate here, looking to take down some of these probes. Although I don't think Irradiate, maybe Irradiate, I think it kills probes, but it actually looks like it doesn't, so that shows you what I know. I don't see that move very often. So that was kind of a cool thing to see, but here comes anyway the main army looking to just bully its way through the Terran army. It might just have enough to do it. Crystalline Xeon really putting on the pressure now. It looks like he sends blood in the water and really wants to pull the trigger here. Let's see if he can make it happen. Nice little stasis on the one tank. Does he have enough army to shut this down? I mean, it's close, but it looks like he maybe just barely has enough, man.
Look at how long it took to kill that Arbiter.
I know, right? I was kind of thinking the same. Just the unit's AI just never tend to want to fire at that Arbiter. I mean, I think that's the reason why they gave Arbiter an attack, so that AI will start to target down the Arbiter. Even though it's only like 5, it does like 10 damage.
So we haven't really seen Protoss expand gateways, and now the Terran is macroing off of even factories. So, but look at this army. I mean, the entire time that Protoss has been macroing off of all that, it's just, I don't know if I don't know how. I mean, I guess there's still a really narrow choke here, but this is going to be hard for Terran to hold on to.
Right, I think it might just be too little too late. I think Fuzzy Branch really needed this higher factory count a little bit earlier, and actually needed them to actually get some value out of the factories, but now he's kind of struggling to mass units out of them while the Protoss army is already on top of him. However, a really nice mine connection there. Let's see if he is able to clear out this army. So far, it's kind of even in supply, but the resources from Terran are slowly dwindling. Terran's kind of on only one mining base that is pretty wide open. Protoss looking to take out the main for now.
Yeah, this is I agree. Although I understand the aggressive move of just sending reinforcement after reinforcement in, but I like the decision to just pull back.
Right, I don't think he needs to go. I don't think Protoss needs to go up the ramp and actually kill all of Terran's buildings right away.
Yeah.
But obviously he doesn't really know all the information that we see this game. But if he had, he probably just would have sent his units to the top right away. But of course, during the game situation, it's never like that. So.
And I don't think Protoss is aware that Terran has taken top right this whole time.
Right, that
Terran,
could.
Terran,
Yeah.
what you were saying about how the base being open and stuff, Terran could just totally take the natural and wall it off. Oh, we have a probe now scouting here. It's not gonna get mine connections.
Oh man, I really hope that probe does not go up and find that base, because that could be definitely very troublesome for Terran. But if Terran can just keep keep Protoss in the dark that there's actually another base on the map, he could actually make a slow comeback here. So let's see if Fuzzy can make it happen. He's got to have a really nice defense laid out with a nice tank spread, and just maybe he can do it if he lands some EMPs on this Arbiters to stop a lot of stasises from getting thrown down. But so far, Fuzzy's been able to hold off this attack from Protoss. Nice job from Fuzzy, kind of maintaining this defensive posture for now. Got to be careful with this move out. In the meantime, it looks like he is going to force the Protoss army back yet again a little bit more. And this is kind of some nice space that Terran could need to come back in this game, even if he's able to only get that mineral only for now. Gonna have to come back somehow. Fuzzy Branch's resources really starting to dwindle and having a lot of hard time macroing out of all these factories back at home. So we got 7 here, which is a decent number on 3 base. Eventually want to be getting up to 9 here, but here comes Protoss, going to be looking for another fight, just sending it in. And I don't know if Fuzzy has enough to deal with this. Is pretty massive army. Nice mine connection so far, clearing up the Zealots right away. Nice job and nice defense from Fuzzy. Actually going to be pushing this army back. Pretty incredible there from what the units that he had. Actually pretty outstanding. Still holding on for now. Nice job, Fuzzy Branch, dealing with this so far. And I like Protoss here taking the right side. Is going to be a little bit easier to take. And then the bottom side, I think in this case. However, now Protoss does have a lot more map control. So kind of has a bit more options on what bases he can take. But as he predicted, Fuzzy Branch is able to throw down that CC at the natural. But Protoss looking for another fight here. Gonna be going into the Terran army to look to keep clearing the Terran forces. But I think Protoss needs to be careful about doing this. If he takes a lot of bad engagements, it actually is kind of playing into the Terran's hand at this point. So nice job saving these goons for now. Really nice defense from Fuzzy, gonna be pushing that army back again. And now Protoss knows that Fuzzy Branch is at least trying to take this natural CC and is sending his army that way. and there's only a few mines and no army to really defend this position, so this base will definitely be going down unless Fuzzy Branch can get across the map to help save it. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah, Fuzzy Branch gonna be going to save this base now. Let's see if he can get there in time, and if Protoss actually has the sense to go up the ramp and see if there's a base up there. I really hope he doesn't. So far he doesn't. That ninja base stays hidden, man. Oh, that's so nice. But that probe is gonna work its way up and find out the bad news. Oh, maybe not quite. Actually, I spoke too soon. That Protoss probe just right out of the range of that mineral. Fuzzy Branch is gonna get here on top of the high ground and might be able to actually fortify this position. This could be the play Fuzzy Branch actually needs to kind of start getting ahead here. So far, this game has somehow evened its way out in supplies, and worker count is basically even. What a game, man. This is actually turning out to be quite a game here in game 2. Nice job from Fuzzy Branch, though, finding this mid-right location. It doesn't have a whole lot of defense, but Crystalline Xeon is able to get his army here in time to defend. Both players in kind of an awkward spot where they want to attack, but they only really have enough to defend in the meantime. Protoss looking to take that 6 o'clock base again. Let's see if he can get that up and running before Terran is able to spot it out and deny it. I do like this position for Fuzzy Branch. If he can get these high grounds, is going to be really strong for him going into this late game. So far we have pretty similar upgrades for both players. 2-3 for Terran, +3 for Protoss. Pretty typical for what you see in this matchup generally.
Oh, we do have another. We have a
good
recall up in the main. Right on top
Yeah,
of the
recall.
fact.
Nice recall. Actually, not a whole lot of defense here back in the main from Terran. Terran gonna have to scramble to try to get his army up this ramp, which is always so troublesome. And these vultures trying to lay mines, but glitching out on top of each other and then blowing themselves up is always frustrating for Terran to deal with. And now this recall is starting to get really good damage done. One factory goes down, and these zealots getting on top of the armories for Terran. This recall is definitely getting a lot of value here. I think Fuzzy Branch will eventually be able to clear this up, but definitely nice move here from Protoss, getting really good damage done here, and still not done yet. Fuzzy Branch gonna be looking to take out this Nexus though, and there's so many tanks here. I don't know if Protoss has the army to actually come in and punish this, so we're kind of base trading at this point. Ooh, nice EMP on top of the Arbiter, gonna be denying some stasis. And this tank push is going to be really nice for Terran, but that recall has not been dealt with yet. Still getting more damage done, even getting on top of the supply depots, and is going to be able to stop the macro completely from Terran. Fuzzy Branch is going to have to remake these factories in the top right, man. I don't know if he's going to actually be able to save this anymore. This recall is getting really good damage done, and Fuzzy not even macroing out of these factories in the meantime. Just gonna sack that base for now, it looks like. Wow, man, what a crazy game. Both players kind of on a one base mining at the time being. Oh wow, and at this time that the third base at the 6 o'clock finishes, Terran comes in just in the nick of time with these two vultures. Gonna be denying mining time for a little bit longer from this base, which is definitely very painful at this time. Oh man. This is so back and forth, but this tank pushes is definitely a big threat to deal with for sure, but Terran's got to be a little bit careful. Some of his units kind of getting out of place and get a nice stasis there on top of the tanks. And now Protoss is going to be able to clear out this army, man. So much back and forth going on. This is crazy. And now Crystalline Xeon, his probe finally scouts what's going on and sees that there is a base in the top right. And I imagine once Protoss clears these tanks, he will just be sending his army up there. He might even just send his army right away. Actually, there he goes. And this top right is basically undefended. I don't know. Maybe Protoss has done it, man. This is such a crazy game. Terran has no macro at this time. And that recall is still not done getting damage. It's cleared out most of the main. And Fuzzy's just going to tap out. That's going to be GG, man. What a game. Holy cow.
Wow.
One heck of a game, man.
Wow.
I couldn't call it until the last minute there. That was so close. Nicely done, Crystalline. Xeon going 2-0 against Fuzzy Branch. Well done.
Crystalline Xeon just making all the right moves at the right time. I felt like I was watching a game of chess that game, and it just went into this like insane late game where it's like king
Right.
versus king.
No kidding, man. Seriously. Like Fuzzy was like, all right, I got your queen. And then Crystalline was like, but I got your queen. And now it's king versus king. Yeah, no kidding, man. What a game.
What a game. Wow.
Very cool.
That I have to say that was a well played game. That was just some great StarCraft.
Absolutely, man.
All right, we're going to go into our last series of the day. Games like that, man, it's like they're so complex. There's so much going on, and it's like, wow.
I mean, seriously, right? For like a 2-0, that did not feel one-sided. Like
No.
I really felt like Fuzzy could have taken that. So
And I want to go in. Oh wait, sorry. Can you
oh, no
join
worries.
my game real quick?
Sure
I
thing.
wanna review that last game because there was a play that you caught that I totally didn't catch, and I want to grab it and I want to clip it.
Oh, nice. All right. I
Oh,
love it. Right
so
on. Perfect.
all right, it was about 20 minutes in. It might have even been a little bit. That might be a little bit late. It was that where was that move with the science vessel?
Let's see. That was a little bit further. Once Protoss had the that right side base, he had the mineral only and that right side with the gas, and then Terran was pushing with his tanks toward that base.
That was when the no, sorry. When the vessel was erasing the probes. There was a
Oh,
I want to clip that.
that was when Protoss first had this mineral only on the right side after having lost that third
Uh-huh.
at the 6 o'clock. Then he took this third mineral only base, and that's where the spot that was getting irradiated.
Oh, it was in the mineral only base. Okay.
I believe so. So yeah, once this base finishes, and then I believe that's when we saw If I remember correctly, that's when we saw the irradiate.
I thought it was
kinda go
like
down.
I
That
made
might be
note.
wrong.
We were like 20 minutes in the game, and I made note that it was somewhere around here.
It was a very interesting play. Definitely not something you see that often. Now it's weird because irradiate kills SCVs and drones, but after I saw that on the probe, I guess I realized it doesn't kill probes, which is something I didn't really know.
Was that at the mineral only base though?
I think it was. I think it was. So it should still be coming up. Okay, there's an irradiate right there.
What
That probe.
what's the timestamp?
It might have happened just before now, but you see the probe at the natural that's irradiated?
Oh, I see. Okay, so it was at the natural. Okay.
Yeah. But it was transferred from the third mineral only, I believe. So where's the vessel here? Should be coming down any moment. Okay, that vessel from the top left, kind of coming down towards the middle of the map, I think is the vessel that gets that irradiate off.
Okay.
If you see it. Might be wrong.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see it. I see it.
slips past those goons.
Yeah.
Even slips past the arbiters. Oh man. It's got
All
like
right.
35 HP.
Someone
And I
clip
don't
this.
know if researching irradiate was like a mistake or you just don't see it that often, but there's the irradiate on that probe.
There it is. I found it. Okay. Can you clip that? That was a pretty funny move. That was cool.
It was pretty funny. I'm not familiar with the whole clipping process, but I could give it a try.
All right. I know where it is now. I want to try it. I
Okay.
just want to follow this vessel. That is epic.
I mean, it was pretty epic. I'm actually glad I saw it because it's not something I really think about doing in this matchup, but now I know probes don't take damage from irradiate, which is kind of crazy.
All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. All right. I'm following this. I am tracking this thing right now. We're just about to get to the goons. Clip it, clip it. That's so funny. Did you get it?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of giving it a try. This is my first time ever even trying to clip something, but
Okay. It's all right. At least we caught it.
yeah, I'll have to maybe mess around with it a little bit.
All right. Yeah, we could try clipping that another time too.
Yeah. Pretty funny stuff, though. Definitely not something you see every day.
That was great, actually. That was great. I'm glad you caught that.
I was just very shocked.
All right.
I know the Reddit does damage to Zealots and High Templars. It may not do damage to goons. I think they're more of a mechanical unit, but Could be wrong there. But yeah, very nice game though. Either way, I think Fuzzy Branch definitely could have taken it. A lot of back and forth, so.
Indeed. All right, we're going into our last series of the night, AK. It
Oh
is.
boys, tied up 1-1 so far in the tier 3.
This is Series 7. This is going to be Cold versus Quantum Leap.
Oh, okay. All right. Gonna see a TVZ. I love it. One of my
And
favorite matchups.
I don't know Cold very well, but he seems to be a pretty competent Terran. I have played against Quantum Leap though, and Quantum Leap is a decent Zerg. He's really good.
Nice. Very nice. Always happy to see this matchup.
So here we go. Are you ready?
Alrighty, already.
Alrighty. All right. In the top left, our blue Terran playing for the semi-sweet cookie fleet. It is Cold. And in the bottom right, our red Zerg playing for Lord of the Lings, trying to put a point on the board for the team. It is
Yeah, let's
Quantum Leap.
go.
Map
Very
is, of
nice.
course, August Grad.
Okay. Gonna be seeing some TVZ on August Grad. Definitely never upset about that. And I think this was one of the first games that we had Quantum Leap play for us this season. So gonna be nice to see how his play style is in comparison to the Terran. And I don't know, man, when I play TVZ on this map, it seems the vulnerable spots are kind of at the natural, although with this new addition that Cookie Master's made, he makes it possible to wall off at that position, so it's not as wide open, I think, as it maybe used to be. And so
Well,
you can still kind of play somewhat standard in this matchup.
what I've been able to experiment with in my solo um explorations is
Hmm.
this narrow area between the natural nexus and the main nexus. There's very narrow area. Um,
Yeah,
it's very nice for some Sim City wall in that could bug the AI a little bit.
right, for sure.
Um, I've been able to when I've had a hard time defending my natural choke point, I've been able to salvage some bad defenses with some good SimCity in that little narrow area.
Hmm.
So
Nice, nice. It looks like we do have a 12 hatch opener from Protoss. Looks like he did something like a 12, 11, 10 kind of style.
right, like a hatch first style.
Yeah, definitely going to be going for that 2 hatchery sort of play with the faster tech rather than a 3 hatchery kind of style. And Terran also going for a pretty standard approach with the barracks expand. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary just yet. Nice scouting information from both players. The drone scout came towards the Terran and did get killed by the Marines, so unfortunately that drone scout wasn't able to make its way out, but still got pretty nice information. I believe it saw the CC at the natural and was able to see that barracks. So got pretty decent scouting information.
I feel like
Here
we've
comes the
got
Lings.
an extremely fast layer here at like it was started well before 3.5 minutes.
Usually on 2 hatch you see it at 3 minutes in this matchup. So this is just very standard for a 2 hatchery kind of style play. It most likely will be mutas. However, you still do see 2 hatchery Hydra in this matchup, so I wouldn't count it out just yet. But we do see Terran going for the 2 Racks Academy style bio kind of play as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what each player is able to do. There is a lot of vulnerabilities for Terran on this map. Ooh, the Zerg running all the Lings right into the bunker of the Terran. Unfortunately, not going to be having any vision here on the side of the map, and he doesn't even have an Overlord kind of on the cliff to help spot when the Terran might be moving out. So losing those Lings is actually pretty huge. And it is going to be a Spire here from Zerg while throwing down the 3rd hatchery as sort of a macro hatchery rather than throwing that 3rd hatchery on location to take another base, which you see as well. But both players going for very standard kind of style. The 2 Racks Academy versus the 2 hatch opener, followed by, it's kind of like maybe the 2.5 hatch even. I might have missed some of it, but nice scan here in the main. One scan going off in the main, and maybe he didn't. Looks like he just spent the other one, so hopefully he saw the tech there at the natural and can start preparing some turrets for defense. But the eBay actually isn't even done. The eBay is actually a little bit late here, so this might actually open up a timing if Quantum Leap is really on top of his muta timing, which he looks like he's pretty well on top of. Let's see if Terran is actually able to get some defense up in time to stop the getting harassed from these mutas too long. But here comes a move out from the bio that snuck right past the Zerglings. And Zerg actually doesn't know that this move out is coming just yet. Luckily he has a safety sunken back at home, which he definitely needs. But it looks like that eBay is going to finish up just in time for these mutas to not find much damage, if any damage. But there's still some open spots that Zerg might be able to find, so we'll see what happens. But the Bio Army looking to just dive on top of the sunken,
Wow.
and Quantum Leap's going to tap out already. GG. I don't know if he actually needed to do that with the 3 hatcheries, but I mean, I guess he's just going to tap out and go into game 2, so maybe wasn't comfortable on this map as much, perhaps.
That was yeah, you know what? It could also just it could just be I don't want to use really loaded terms like rage and salt without knowing somebody very well, but it could just be frustration too. Like I've just quickly tapped out of so many games because it's like, okay, it's just another loss, you know.
Yeah, I definitely know that feeling for sure. And I think losing that vision with your early Lings and not knowing when that move out is coming,
Yeah,
and then just getting caught off guard, it can just feel kind of bad, I guess.
I agree. Yeah, that it was just it happens at StarCraft.
Right, for sure, for sure. I think if Quantum Leap maybe watched that replay though, he may have realized that he didn't actually have to tap out right at that moment, but GG anyway, you know, that just happens sometimes. So
Yep.
luckily we'll get to see a game 2, which is going to be Diamondback, another very popular map.
So we'll go ahead and update the scores before we start this.
Okay.
And we're good. All right. Game 2. Diamondback.
Nicely played from Cold, though. You know, one sunken usually isn't really enough to hold that kind of a push, as long as you, unless you have your mutas to help defend against that, which I thought Quantum Leap was going to do that game. But we'll see what happens this time around. Going to be cross spawn again
So we
on a
have
4-player map.
Cold, our blue Terran, playing for Semih Sweet Cookie Fleet in the top left. And in the bottom right, we have our red Zerg, Quantum Leap, playing for the Lord of the Lings. As you said, cross
Go
spawn.
Quantum Leap. Heck yeah, man. I really would like to see Quantum Leap make a comeback here. Let's see what he can do here in game 2. And if he decides to open up with the 12 hatchery again, or if he's going to be going for a pool first, maybe this time around. And we'll see if maybe Quantum Leap can identify some of the early game mistakes that we saw from last game and maybe make an adjustment here. Yeah, so far both players kind of looking pretty standard so far. Zerg going up to 12 drones with no spawning pool, looking like he's going to be throwing down that 12 hatch. And yes, it is going to be the 12 hatch build with the drone scout. Terran once again going for the same build as last time. And both players kind of going to be getting the last scout, which is unfortunate for both of them, but kind of evens out. Zerg going once again for that 12, 11, 10 kind of style 2 hatchery build. Which I think opens up the possibility for the 2.5 hatch later on. I don't know the exact build order for that build, but anyhow, it's going to be the 2 hatch tech from Zerg. No doubt probably going to be the 2 hatch Spire, but we'll see. Once again, Terran going down to throw his CC down as the drone comes in to scout, very similar to what we saw in the first game. However, Terran didn't let Zerg see that he threw down the CC, which, you know, Terran can kind of be cheeky here. I like the fact that Quantum Leap sent that drone back just to confirm that it actually was a CC, and then kind of gets out of there just to keep Terran honest, you know, make sure he's not doing any cheeky shenanigans and throwing down like a barracks there instead of the CC or something.
Sure.
And not, oh, nice job with the Zerglings taking down the SCV in the main, denying any further scouting information from Terran. So as we saw in the first games, the Zerg lost all his vision due to throwing his Lings into the bunker, but this time Terran lost all his vision with the scouting SCV, so he might not know if a lot of Lings are coming at this time, which is very scary. If you don't know, if it almost forces you to throw a bunker down, which Cold is doing in the time being, so he will be safe from like a Ling all in. However, that's not even happening. Just going to be the 2 Lings on the map, so we got lots of really good value from these 2 Lings actually having killed that early scouting SCV right away. Nice value here from Quantum Leap already, forcing that early bunker, going to be delaying that Marine Medic move out for as long as possible. And it is going to be the Spire thrown down from Zerg. Nice timing on the lair, finishing, as well as getting the the gas at the natural. So this time, having that gas, he's going to be putting on a lot of muta pressure here before taking the third, I do believe. However, Zerg actually is just going to throw down the third right at the natural there. Sometimes you see him throw down the third on location. Sometimes you see it thrown down in the main, or sometimes it's at the natural. So just kind of a play style preference, I guess.
Terran
Let's see.
does scan the main and does see the spire. Uh, you know,
Oh, nice catch. Nice
about
catch.
70% of the way done. Um,
Okay.
and but I don't know if he scanned like the natural. I don't know if he scanned the second gas, and if he sees like just entirely what's going on. He knows that mutas are going to be coming, but
Right. He only used one scan though. So you're right. He does have one scan left to use. I imagine he'll use it at the natural right before he attacks to decide if he actually wants to send this army in or not. But with the 3 sunkens here, he should not. Nice move back. And this is a much better SimCity defense than we saw in game 1. Not going to be dying to that attack by any means. And that's going to force Terran to go back home right now. Let's see what Quantum Leap is going to be transitioning into, if he's just going to be making tons of mutas in the meantime, looking to put lots of pressure on with those mutas, or he might be making a muta lurker type of switch while taking a third base. So far it looks like Zerg is just going to be content making mutas for a little while here. Let's see what damage he can get done. So far he's only got the 4 mutas on the map, soon to be 7 here. He definitely needs 7 to one-shot the SCV, and as soon it's going to be up to 9 mutas, so these 9 mutas can actually find quite a bit of damage. Definitely going to come down to micro, but we'll see what happens.
so the Terran at their base is putting up turrets, and they're also upgrading +1. But the +1 is going to take a minute. But I do think there's enough turrets and enough bio to deflect. What is it? 8 mutas. I do think there's enough here to deflect this and push it away for now.
See, that was a bit of a mistake there. Zerg didn't wait for all his mutas there and wasn't able to take out that turret, unfortunately, and lost some mutas in the meantime. So now he's down to 8 mutas. However, it's still a pretty big force of mutas, so I think Zerg just needs to be careful not to lose track of the bio here. He might be able to find some damage here at the natural, but definitely want to keep these mutas alive, seeing as he's transitioning into lurkers now. So this is the main army for Zerg in the time being. Nice little poke and prod though at the natural to keep Terran honest, make sure he actually is making those turrets, and keeps the bio back home for now. So nice play here from Quantum Leap. However, really good defense from Cold as well. Cold gonna be getting into that double starport tech off of 4 barracks production soon. And we're gonna have kind of a skirmish here in the middle of the map. Terran looking to move out while Zerg trying to buy time to get those lurkers up, which will help him get his third base. Once Zerg is able to get that third gas base, Zerg will really be able to start getting an advantage as far as if he's going into Ultralisk or Defiler tech. It's definitely going to be way more beneficial than just 2 bases. But if Terran can keep Zerg on 2 bases for quite a while, it's going to be good for the Terran. So we'll see what happens here. Nice kind of micro back and forth. Zerg forcing stems out of the bio from Terran, and Terran also keeping his bio in a nice ball here, not bleeding off too many Marines here. Really nice job, but oh, a group comes forward to the mutas and they find a muta and pick it off. Now the mutalisk count is down to 5. Pretty nice job from the bio there, picking off quite a bit of mutalisks, but the Zerg might have bought himself enough time. Lurker's already done morphing, more on the way. Let's see what Zerg staying on 2 base for a little while. Actually might just be deciding to make lots of units and take a later third in order to go for like a big counterattack at this time. Could be really nice as well. So let's see what happens. I think Zerg looking to take that 6 o'clock base, it looks like, using these lurkers. Put them up on the high ground. We'll be able to deny any bio from really being able to force their way through that. Nice play from both players so far. Terran looking to get into 5 racks production with the double eBay. Gonna be having some good upgrades here from Terran. So far the Zerg hasn't gone for too early upgrades just yet, but just getting this 3rd base while throwing down another macro hatch inside the main. Really gonna be able to start pumping these units out very soon. And Terran now all of a sudden needs to be really careful not to lose this bio to all these lurkers. Looks like Terran wants to push towards the 3rd. And we'll see if Zerg can deny this from the Terran. This will be really nice from Zerg if he can clear this bio force right now. Nice job though with the double vessels. Going to be getting 2 irradiates thrown down immediately. Zerg knows what's coming. He's starting to prep for this attack. Zerg even trying to dwindle down those bioforces a little bit more with those mutas. Now is just going to be having pure lurker-ling army. Although it's a lot of lurkers, so nice spines getting shot already. Terran's got to be careful with his bio. Nice job though from Cold, keeping it away from those lurkers in the meantime. Meanwhile, Zerg has the hive already finished, looking to start to get into that hive tech. Let's see if he throws down a defiler or maybe just goes right into Ultralisk Cavern.
Does move some lurkers forward, tries to get some more Marines. Cole doing an excellent job of not getting too terribly close to the lurkers. Excellent micro with his army here, but I do think that Zerg is going to be able to build a defensive position here.
Yeah, so far pretty nice job. I love that lurker spread. Pretty nice layout here from Zerg. Even with the Scourge, let's see if he can clear up some of these vessels. Just not quite able to. Maybe finds the connect, actually.
Oh, nice!
And he takes down a vessel. Nice. Always feels good being able to even get just one vessel. Got to do the best you can to keep those vessel counts as minimum as possible while teching into your hive tech. And it is going to be Defiler Mound from Zerg, which just finished. Once Zerg is able to get Defilers with Dark Swarm and Plague out on the map, that will force this Terran army back. And so this Terran army kind of needs to keep being careful, but still keep getting these irradiates down with these vessels. And try not to lose too many, but let's see if he can get sandwiched. Here comes the lurkers looking to get massive spines.
Wow.
The spread from the bio was just enough to clear up those lurkers. Unfortunately for the Zerg, didn't clear up that army, but it isn't over yet. He still has tons of units back at home. And the Terran army starting to kind of split up in 2 different locations a little bit. Let's see if Zerg can find a weak spot here. Lurkers trying to get on top of the bio. A scan goes down, and Terran targeting down the lurkers, but this time the Zerg clears out that bio force, opening up that right side of the map, which is going to be really nice. But the 3rd base is wide open all of a sudden. This bio finds a way in. Oh no, then that's going to be tough for Zerg. Zerg's going to just tap out. What a play from Terran, man, being so patient. Just waiting for that perfect moment to come in before Defilers was the sweet timing, and he found it. Well done, Cold.
Well done. Yeah,
GG.
very methodical. I do feel like it is also worth shouting out to Cold that the bio was at 2 upgrades, whereas the Zerg had none. So.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely very tough to deal with.
Yep. It's every little edge counts.
Absolutely. Very, very true. I think if Zerg had got that Defiler tech a little bit quicker, would have helped him get that third base fully productive, and maybe even get a fourth base as well. But nice try from Zerg. It's always a bit of a balancing act trying to get to that point in the game. So well
Sure.
played from both players.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Um, Lampshade, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. Also, shout out to Vint and Vishy who just joined us in the chat.
Oh, the OG king of the first NSL, man, Lamp Shady, the the OG Shady in the house. If you don't know, he was like the
Nice.
first player to ever win NSL, like all of it, way back in the day when we first started.
Well,
So,
thank you
heck
so
yeah,
much.
man.
Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting Tier 3 and NSL. Um, I think that about does it for the cast today. But man, you know what? We got more series coming up tomorrow night. We have oh, I hope it's going to be as good as it sounds. We have Chunky Cheesers versus Baked Potatoes tomorrow night.
Nice. Well, right on. Thanks again for
So
having me, Breeze. Lots more NSL to go still, so looking forward to casting some more weeks with you, perhaps, and we'll see what happens in the future.
I agree. Yeah. Thank you so much for it's always a pleasure casting with you, AK. Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Oh, same to you, Breeze. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you next time.
And thank you all so much for watching as well. If you want to watch some more StarCraft, stick around. I am looking for someone to raid on Twitch. Trying to find someone that's going to be fun to watch. I apologize if I'm a little bit out of it today. It's been a week and a day.
Oh, I definitely know the feeling, Breeze.
Yeah.
Just glad that you're hosting all these casts, so that's pretty awesome, man.
Let's see. We got. You know what? Let's go and raid Cyan. How about that? Cyan SC.
All right. The one, the only.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting NSL. Shout out to Shimmer, Shoe, Cold, Fuzzy Branch, Crystalline, Xeon, and of course Quantum Leap. Shout out to our players. You know what? There were excellent games. There were some games today that were really just rough to play, and I feel like uh, everyone put in the old college try and threw out some good games. So shout out to our players today. All right.
Indeed, indeed. Very nice.
All right. We will see you all tomorrow night. Have a good one. Thank you again. Stick around. We have Saiyan SC coming up. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, Breeze. We'll see you.
Good night, my friend.